This video is going to be another edition of One Play Wednesday, and I'm going to focus it on a guy that I really can't believe I get to do another film study video on in week 6 of 2024, and that's Joe Flacco. He now has 5 touchdowns in the last 2 weeks since taking over for an injured Anthony Richardson. The Colts just lost to the Jags on the road 37-34 in a game where Flacco went 33 of 44 passing. I think he had 3 touchdowns. He's leading the NFL in passer rating right now in a very small sample size. It's kind of unbelievable that he's still around, number one. Number two, that he's making plays with his arm. He's always had a big arm, and that'll stay with him for a long time, I'm sure. But he actually had a huge scramble against the Jags in a crazy fourth quarter. Indianapolis, I think, scored 24 points in the fourth quarter. The Jags scored 17. I think that's almost an NFL record for points scored in a quarter. 2 weeks ago, the Seahawks and the Lions had put up a crazy third quarter, and this one was even more so. Going to get into a little bit of the film from the week before against the Steelers when Flacco and the Colts handed Pittsburgh their first loss. Look, the Colts fan base is getting ready to find out how good Josh Downs, Alec Pierce are, because you already know how good Michael Pittman is, because Joe Flacco is going to give them chances to make plays. He's going to throw the ball down the field. He's going to give his receivers opportunities to go get the football. I'm not talking about jump balls. I'm saying Flacco is going to take chances with the football down the field because that's the type of arm that he has, number one. Number two, he understands coverages at a really high rate. This is one throw from the third quarter of their win over the Steelers that I wanted to highlight. Minkah Fitzpatrick is switching sides with the other safety. The Steelers are going to play one of their patented versions of cover 3 where the safety, in this case Minkah Fitzpatrick, inserts down onto the hash. So here are your 4 underneath droppers. Cover 3, look by the DBs. And Minkah Fitzpatrick went over there specifically, I think, to stop a route combination I believe he knew was coming. You can see by his body language, he is pissed off. You really can't, I think, accurately judge someone who has a cannon for an arm like this unless you're down there on the field or you're actually trying to catch the football from him. This ball gets on top of Pittman really quick. It's a 12-yard completion on a 3rd and 10. We'll get to the film against the Jags here in a moment where Alec Pierce really exploded. He's leading the league in yards per catch, by the way. Flacco's just so calm. This is supposed to be One Play Wednesday, and I will talk about one play in particular. I'm leading up to it. Flacco doesn't get bothered at all. He doesn't get bothered at all by turnovers. He's just like, let's go make the next play. But he doesn't get bothered inside the pocket when he's got a guy like TJ Watt who's potentially got an angle on him. He understands how to create a little bit of space in order to get his throws off. In this case, Ogletree touchdown, first play of the fourth quarter. Getting to the Jags film, he's going to throw touchdowns to whoever is open. Well, in some cases, guys aren't open. Mo Alley-Cox is in fact not open here. It's man-to-man. It's a 3rd and 15. First play of the fourth quarter. Like I said, 41 combined points there. 41 combined points there, in the fourth quarter. Just crazy. The Jags are able to win in the last minute of the game, but Flacco was dealing to multiple guys and, in fact, it's about halfway through the fourth quarter, one of the pass rushers, I think it's Trayvon Walker, for the Jags falls down. And as a result, Flacco's kind of able to step up in the pocket a little bit. I'll give you the end zone angle of this one in a moment. It's up here. I think the guard peels out after he's getting chipped and kind of knocks him down. Flacco sees all the space. It's manned by the defense, so everyone is occupied. And the only free defender here is a safety trying to come down. Unable to get to Flacco, who scrambles for 21 yards. When you get the end zone angle, you'll actually see there's some acceleration there. Like he turned it into gear. He wasn't just coasting on a 3rd and 8 in the middle of the fourth quarter. He's trying to win the football game. And I think the Colts, I know their defense has really struggled. And it's a little bit surprising as a Ravens fan because I saw them last year play quite well at times against the Ravens in week 3 of 2023. They're struggling on defense right now, but they're going to score points. They're going to score points, and guys are going to get chances to make plays. This actually is ruled a touchdown to Alec Pierce, who, like I said, is leading the league in yards per catch at 28 yards per catch. He's just running away from people at times. Once he gets even with these corners, it's over. He's leaving them. It's a 46. Well, originally ruled a 46-yard touchdown to Flacco from Flacco to Alec Pierce. Beautiful ball, perfect stride, on time. Apparently, Pierce was touched by the safety's leg, so it was ruled to only be a 45-yard completion. Flacco did get a touchdown pass to a tight end a couple of plays later. End zone angle, same play, just so you can see what Flacco's looking at. I think that he's one of those guys that understands pre-snap where he might want to go with the ball based on the coverage. He must be a savant at figuring out the coverage. I mean, this is very similar to what he did last year with the Browns. Occasionally throws some interceptions. He doesn't have one yet this year, but he will. But also make a ton of big plays down the field and give those receivers, Amari Cooper and others, chances to make plays. Really nice adaptation, if you ask me. It's a, quote, blown coverage by the Jags from the standpoint of the outside corner thought that he was going to get help on an in-breaking route. But Pierce has been hitting people lately on very similar concept to what you saw a couple of plays ago. Inside release, and then take the route vertical, use his speed and his size to be able to get past the DB, give the quarterback, whether it's Flacco or was Anthony Richardson at a time, a chance to throw the ball down the field. But on this inside release, now he's bringing this route, climbing it to the other side of the field, and you've got an occupy underneath route by the receiver on the other side. This touchdown from 65 yards ties it at 34 with just under 3 minutes left in the game. Again, the Jags go down and win the football game 37-34. I think it's pretty amazing what Flacco's doing. I like this adaptation from the standpoint of what the Colts are doing against the Jags defense. You can see all the space that's been cleared out on this side of the field because the receiver on the other side ran a shorter concept, basically occupied the defensive back. As a Ravens fan, last year was very difficult. First of all, we were rooting for Flacco, but he was playing for the Browns. So there was an element there that we wanted Flacco to succeed individually, but not the Browns team, of course. And then they got spanked and sparked out of the playoffs by the Houston Texans, who came to Baltimore and lost the next week. This is different. It's a Colts team that really, for the Ravens at least, doesn't factor into the decision. I don't know about you if you're a Ravens fan. You've listened this long. I hope Flacco throws for 35 touchdowns. It'll be an amazing story. The way he plays football at this point in time, though, he's going to throw some interceptions because he's going take chances is the wrong phrase. He's going to attack downfield. I think the coaching staff there knows what they've got in Flacco and the players, Pittman, Pierce, and Josh Downs especially, those three receivers, they understand this is a huge opportunity for them. Not that Anthony Richardson wouldn't throw the football down the field. He's got a huge arm, and he's willing to do so. In fact, I'll have a film study video out on Alec Pierce later tonight that'll focus on a couple of the throws that Richardson made to him to attack down the field with the deep ball. But Flacco's a guy who understands coverages at a really high level. He's been around for a long time. I think he gives the Colts team a chance to compete. I could be way wrong. Maybe this is the last hurrah the last 2 weeks against the Steelers and the Jags for Joe Flacco. If it is, it's been fun to watch, at least for a film study for me on Wednesday. If you enjoy the One Play Wednesday concept, I have probably about 40 of these queued up into a playlist that I'll link up at the end of this video so you can check out more if you wish. If you think other Colts fans, Ravens fans, or football fans in general would enjoy this film study look at Joe Flacco's, some of his highlight throws from the last 2 weeks, then please consider grabbing a link to this video, sharing it out on social media to help this content get more reach.